Welcome to the Superfast TouchDesigner tutorial series. In this tutorial, we will learn how to process incoming tracking coordinates and pinch distances through a network of chop operators to drive dynamic visual systems. We use top networks to layer dynamic crosshairs, rotating elements, and live text readouts together so the final result looks like a digital scope, which, by the way, is entirely rigged and available to download on my Patreon right now, if you want it. All right, let's see how the network is structured. Chapter 1. Overview. All right, let us map out the data flow for this tracker effect. We start by gathering our finger coordinates and pinch distance using a constant chop. Next, we process those values through a lag chop to guarantee smooth, continuous animations before pushing the data into our tops. There we drive a reactive displacement lens and a frosted glass mask over our background video. Finally, we route those exact same tracking channels into our pops to animate our 3D crosshairs and dynamic text readouts. And by the way, if you want to skip the guesswork with beginner courses and getting feedback on your projects, you can join over 400 students in my school community linked in the description. So let's jump into the tutorial. Chapter 2. Network. All right, let's begin. I have the tracker running in my browser. To check the connection, you can go to the Connect tab and click the WebSocket option. This will show you the host name and the port. This is the connection to TouchDesigner. You can see the port number here. It should be the same. Then in the Camera tab, you can choose your video input. Now, once you have the hand tracker active, you can explore the presets or create new ones. The layout is quite easy. Here you have both hands data and all the active outputs. You can make your own custom selection of controllers, one by one, or by groups. Simple, right? You can also make a recording of the movement so you can work with freedom. The recording will loop so you can have the data running in TouchDesigner as you work. Now back in TouchDesigner. Once you've dragged in the tracker, inside the metrics page, turn on pinch active and also pinch distance. I'm just going to use my left hand. Then under the index page, activate left hand tip. The outputs appear automatically. Connect the L-index tip output to a math chop. Go to the range page and set the to range from -0.5 to 0.5. We do this range conversion so our bare tracking coordinates are perfectly centered around 0, matching the standard dimensional space for rendering. Connect the math chop to a null chop. This null chop holds our main coordinates. By the way, if you find this network interesting but maybe do not want to build it all from scratch, you can just grab the finished project file on my Patreon. There are over 7,000 subscribers there who get access to all my project files, custom TouchDesigner plugins, and some free VJ packs. If you prefer to just jump straight in and experiment, the link for that is also in the description. Now from the pinch output, add a math chop. On the range page, set the to range from 0.05 to 0.25. Connect this math chop to a lag chop. Go to the lag page, enable lag per sample, and disable snap. Connect this lag chop to a null chop and name it radius. Branch the pinch dist constant chop to a second math chop. Set the to range to 0.19 and 1.12. Now duplicate the last lag and the null, and change the input to the new math and rename it radius line. Add a third math chop. Set the to range from 0 to 360. Connect this to a null chop and name it rot. Now a final fourth math chop. Set the to range from 0.11 to 0.23. Connect it to a null chop and name it dist letter. Notice that these values I'm using might change depending on your screen settings. Perfect. Our chop data is ready. Let's process our background video. Add a screen grab top. In the screen grab page, set the source. I made this selection because I have two screens. If you're using only one, you can work with a split screen in order to have both apps running at the same time, and choose the correct source in the screen grab top. Now let's continue. Connect it to a crop top. On the crop page, set crop left to 0.176, crop bottom to 0.089, and crop top to 0.906. I'm just using the crop to get the webcam video in full screen, so you might have to adjust the values to your own. Connect this to a fit top. Set fit to fit outside. In the common page, set output resolution to custom and set it to 1280 by 720, set output aspect to resolution, and set pixel format to RGBA32 float. Connect this fit top to a null top. This is our master background signal. For the UI lens, I'm using a circle top linked to the main control null and the pinch distance, with the same resolution as the video input. This goes to a blur effect and into a slope, and then to a math. The slope calculates the spatial derivative of any image, converting its pixel shifts into horizontal and vertical direction vectors. Because these resulting gradient values frequently contain negative numbers, the math top node is applied to remap, scale, or multiply them into highly practical, usable normal mapping textures. This is going to a displace top with the video input, and then I mixed it with the background and a text top receiving the data from the radius null. Just taking a quick second before we move on. If you are enjoying this workflow and want to understand these techniques better, you are always welcome to join my school community. We have over 400 students learning together right now. It is a really excellent place to find beginner courses, get direct feedback on your project files, and network with other artists. If that sounds helpful to you, I will leave the link down in the description. For the crosshair target, I'm using a rectangle top, then added a layer flipped Y, with another opposite layer plus a big circle linked to the tracker outputs, and a small circle for the center. It's quite simple. This is connected to a transform, which is also linked to the tracker outputs for translation, rotation, and scale. The glass overlay is also simple, a blurred effect over the video input, with a matte top to cut the video, then mixed with the crosshair. For an extra scope detail, I used a line pop with the position Z value set to 0.5, and a circle pop which has a constant rotation with absolute time.seconds, sent to a copy pop and then to a geocomp. This is rendered out and it is automated with a transform pop linked to the tracker outputs. Then it is mixed with the final video output with the same automated values so it blends perfectly. Perfect. I hope you've successfully completed this tutorial. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments.